Reiki 2, Lesson 5, Namaste. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one. The gesture, or mudra, of Namaste is a simple act made by bringing together both palms of the hands before the heart, and lightly bowing the head. In the simplest form, it is accepted as a humble greeting straight from the heart and reciprocated accordingly. Namaste is a composite of two Sanskrit words, nama and te. Te means you, and nama means to bend, incline, or bow. The meaning of these two words together is a sense of submitting oneself to another with complete humility. The word nama is split into two, na and ma. Na signifies negation and ma represents mine. The meaning would then be not mine, the import being that the individual soul belongs entirely to the Supreme Soul, which is identified as residing in the individual towards whom the Namaste is directed. Indeed, there is nothing that the soul can claim as its own. Namaste is thus the necessary rejection of I, and the associated phenomena of egotism. It is said that ma in nama means death spiritually, and when this is negated with na, it signifies immortality. The whole action of Namaste unfolds itself at three levels: mental, physical, and verbal. The mental submission is in the spirit of total surrender of the self. This is parallel to the devotion one expresses before a chosen deity, also known as bhakti. The devotee who thus venerates with complete self-surrender is believed to partake the merits or qualities of the person or deity before whom he performs this submission. A transaction can only be between equals, between individuals who share some details in common. Hence, by performing Namaste before an individual, we recognize the divine spark in him or her. Further, by facilitating our partaking of these divine qualities, Namaste makes us aware of these very characteristics residing within our own selves. Simply put, Namaste intimates the following: the God in me greets the God in you. The spirit in me meets the same spirit in you. In other words, it recognizes the equality of all and pays honor to the sacredness of all and everyone, regardless of age, status, or wealth. Translated into a bodily act, Namaste is deeply rich in symbolism. Firstly, the proper performance of Namaste requires that we blend the 5 fingers of the left hand exactly with the fingers of the right hand. The significance behind this simple act in fact governs the entire gamut of our active life. The 5 fingers on the left hand represent the 5 senses of karma, and those on the right hand the 5 organs of knowledge. Hence it signifies that our karma or action must be in harmony and governed by rightful knowledge, prompting us to think and act correctly. Namaste recognizes the duality that has forever existed in this world and suggests an effort on our part to bring these two forces together, ultimately leading to a higher unity and non-dual state of oneness. Some of these dual elements, which the gesture of Namaste marries together and unifies as one, include God and Goddess, man and woman, heaven and earth, sun and moon, theory and practice, wisdom and method, pleasure and pain, astral body and etheric body, mind and body, conscious and unconscious, intellect and instinct, reason and emotion, thought and feeling, word and meaning. Finally, the gesture of Namaste is unique also in the sense that its physical performance is accompanied by a verbal utterance of the word Namaste. This practice is equivalent to the chanting of a mantra. The sonority of the sacred sound Namaste is believed to have quasi-magical value, corresponding to a creative energy change. This transformation is that of aligning oneself in harmony with the vibration of the cosmos itself. At its most general, Namaste is a social transaction. It is usual for individuals to greet when they meet each other. It is not only a sign of recognition, but also an expression of happiness at each other's sight. This initial conviviality sets the positive tone for the further development of a harmonious relationship. Namaste as a greeting is thus a mosaic of movements and words, constituting affirmative thoughts and sentiments. In human society, it is an approach mechanism, brimming with social, emotional, and spiritual significance. In fact, it is said that in Namaste, the hands are put together like a knife, so that people may cut through all differences that may exist, and immediately get to the shared ground that is common to all people of all cultures. In this context, the comparison with the widely prevalent handshake is inevitable. Though shaking hands is an extremely intimate gesture, Namaste scores over it in some ways. primarily is the one that Namaste is a great equalizer. You do Namaste with God and not shake hands. A king or president cannot shake hands with the large multitude they are addressing, but Namaste serves the purpose. It is the same gesture one would have exchanged with a king when with him alone, so no incongruity arises. In the absence of Namaste, those facing a large audience will have to make do with a wave of a hand, a much less congenial greeting, and indeed which does not state the essential qualities of all people, but highlights the difference even more. But on a parallel level, it has been conjectured that both the Namaste and the handshake developed out of a desire on the part of both parties to show themselves to be unarmed and devoid of malicious intention. The outstretched hand and the palm joined together both establish the proponents as disarmed and show they come in peace. As much as yoga is an exercise to bring the levels of our existence, including the physical and intellectual, in complete harmony with the rhythms of nature, the gesture of Namaste is a yoga in itself. It isn't surprising that any yogic activity begins with the performance of this deeply spiritual gesture. The Buddhists went further and gave it the status of mudra, that is, a gesture displayed by deities, where it was known as the Anjala mudra. The word Anjala itself is derived from the root Anj, meaning to adorn, honor, celebrate or anoint. According to Indologist Renov, meditation depends upon the relationship between the hands, mudras, the mouth, mantras, and the mind, yoga. The performance of Namaste is comprised of all these three activities. Thus, Namaste is in essence equivalent to meditation, which is the language of our spirit in conversation with God and the perfect vehicle for bathing us in the rivers of divine pleasure.